Hello, everyone. What is going on? James here, and welcome back to the podcast. I can't even remember if I call myself Jimmy C with two E's or just Jimmy C. I think it's just Jimmy C, just the letter C. Anyway, welcome back to the podcast with me and fellow co-host George.
Hello.
So the first topic is something really sad that happened recently. I don't want to talk about the films just yet that we've got to review. Liam's running late at the moment. Unfortunately, a political activist, conservative activist, Charlie Kirk, unfortunately got shot by some madman scumbag at an event, and it was just really sad, to be honest. He was there, debating, answering questions, and he just got shot in the neck. And it really pains me to talk about it now, to be honest. I know I mentioned politics briefly on here, but I'm not bothered what people's views are. Right, at the end of the day, it's more about like how you act and all that stuff, about your morals and how you treat people and trying your best. You know what I'm saying? It's not really like, I disagree with a lot of people. I really disagree with Jeremy Corbyn. I think he's an idiot, but I wouldn't be celebrating if he got shot. You know what I'm saying? So, and anyone who has been celebrating, because there has been quite a lot of stupid celebration TikToks that have been rolling around and that we've seen online. And the people I've been celebrating, I'm just baffled, man. I'm just like, well, celebrating some dude's death who never killed anyone, never did anything bad, never hurt anyone. All he did was just have debates, really, and spread the word of Jesus. That's the main thing. And obviously, he did political activism and all that stuff. But his main gig was debating and giving people a voice. And he used to say, "The people who disagree with me, come to the front and let's debate, let's speak." So yeah, it's just absolutely tragic, and I'm sure people watching this back may disagree with his views or whatever. I tend to agree with him more than disagreeing. I feel like you can edit people and make people look bad in like a short TikTok. You can re-edit things and make people look terrible. However, if you actually like watch people and give them a chance and see what they've got to say, I know problem, George. I just saw your message muting for a sec, but obviously I realise now that you are muted at the moment. But yeah, like I say, at the end of the day, it's just tragic, man. A dude who has who had two kids, and a wife got shot just for having debates and having different opinions. And like I say, these people who are celebrating his death, seeing him as some sort of monster, whatever monster they see him as, they are 10 times that monster, 20 times celebrating someone's death, like disgusting. It's disgusting, savage behavior, celebrating people's death just because you disagree with them. Absolutely disgusting. Evil,
And they
moron.
deserve to lose the jobs.
Yeah,
Every
definitely.
single one of them.
Yeah, 100%.
There's accounts when I think that's about 300 lost jobs at this point.
Good. That's good. They don't. If you're celebrating people's deaths and publicly celebrating them online, you do deserve to get fired, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Do not unmute me, okay?
Do not unmute you. Oh, you've taken a poo or
Don't
something?
unmute me at all. Other one.
Taking a wee? Okay, but
Yes.
George, you want me to mute you? If you mute yourself, no one can unmute you by accident. But yeah, it's just tragic. It just really is tragic and heartbreaking. And I feel like everyone, no matter what their political views, they need to try and keep discussions open. You know what I'm saying? They need to try and keep debates open and honest. Because at the end of the day, if you start saying this person can't disagree with me, this person cannot disagree with me, how dare they, I'm going to kill them, then that might not trickle from politics. That could eventually trickle to absolutely anything, Oh, this person doesn't like a film. I know this might sound crazy, but if we keep going down this road, right? So, person doesn't like a film that I like. Oh, you don't like this film? This is such a modern film. How dare you? This is so brilliant and promoting everything I love. You're horrible. I hate you. And then they post things online about how horrible you are. And then some dumbass nutcase can start, taking that seriously, take your film review so serious that they end up wanting to kill you and shoot you. You know what I'm saying?
It could be like I'll go around there. Oh, you like Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Whoever? Well, I'm gonna come to your house. I'm gonna get you in the head. It's
Yeah,
literally like that.
it can lead to that if we keep going down this horrible road of killing people for not agreeing with opinions that we agree with, then that's horrible. That's just leading us down a disgusting dark road. And like I say, it's just the West is just becoming more backwards and more backwards. But there's been
and who is it? It's the so-called peaceful left.
Yeah, it is pretty much them. And to be honest, again, these I don't even mind people not, like saying, not. I don't mind people not posting tributes or not saying anything or being quiet on the matter, because that's how some people might feel and all that stuff. But like the fact that a lot of the left, the majority of the very left wing and hardcore liberals were mourning George Floyd, a career criminal and a dude who pointed a gun at a pregnant woman's belly at one point. They were mourning his death, and as much as I don't think he deserved to die, you know what I'm saying? Like, who are you going to be more sad about? A dude
Well, let's talk about the Ukrainian woman who got stabbed by a black man. Were they mourning her death? No, they were saying that this guy who had been prisoned or arrested 14 times, he should have been let off for that. That's the same people who were celebrating his death.
Yeah. Thing is, at the end of the day, if you've, like, they're willing to destroy cities for George Floyd, but yet if innocent people die, they either don't say anything or they celebrate it. You know what I'm saying? I think any innocent person dying, we should be equally as angry about it. We shouldn't be having double standards. We should be equally as angry, when these things happen. And I was when I first heard that, obviously, George got killed. I was really annoyed at first because I didn't know much about him. Obviously, the more I looked into it, I thought, well, it is very sad.
He deserved it.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Like, it's sad that he had no. It's sad that he had no chance to turn his life around. But I'd rather be. I'm 10 times more sad about innocent people getting killed than career criminals getting killed. That's what I'm trying to say.
But it wasn't the cop that killed him. It was the overdose.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't looked into that.
Yeah, I've seen the report.
Oh.
But I was going to say as well, you saw riots and stuff about George Floyd. What have you seen with Charlie's death? Have you seen people burning stuff? People hating on other cultures? No, you haven't. You've seen vigils. You've seen people remembering it. You had the nice gathering in London for the flags, and they celebrating Charlie there.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a good story about that because I think it was Keir Starmer or somebody close to Keir Starmer was said, what do you think of the acts of violence and stuff like that happened at a protest? And this woman was going. It was quite pro Palestine and things like that. And I think it was really bad and things like that. And she was thinking about the is it protect the fans or something like that that happened in London the other day.
I'm not entirely sure.
Well, yeah, he had the British protest. I'll just call it. And this pro-Palestine woman thought this other woman was talking about it's raise the flags. She was thinking she was talking about raise the flags, and she said, "Oh God, I don't think it was very good." And then the woman ended up with it, or let me just say what protest I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Palestine protests that happened on the 7th. And this Palestine woman didn't have anything to say, and that's what they're all like. if they think it will help their agenda, they will be against it. If it's their people causing these problems, they'll defend it.
Yeah,
Just
I
like
mean,
you've seen all these people defending the killer of Charlie Kirk.
yeah, I'll say there's some very disgusting, just very far left people, but obviously there have been some okay people, okay responses and good responses. A lot of good conservative commentators like Brett Cooper responding and Ben Shapiro saying what they think, really encouraging stuff. And also people, Barack Obama's response was pretty articulate, and usually I think he says some daft stuff at times, but this time he was very respectful and articulate of the situation. And obviously there was some other people there was people who like sort of on the centre left, sort of saying, you're pushing me away by acting like this, you're pushing me away by being this extreme, and just being so horrible and crazy about stuff. And to be honest, people who care that much about like differing opinions to that extreme, demented level, you'd think that they'd actually have the balls to go and debate him instead of like being so scared of someone else's opinion that they have to hide behind a gun and then run off. You know what I'm saying, George?
Yeah, definitely, you're right. Yeah. Sorry, I was just
Um,
forgot. I just replying to something.
I want to. If you have anything else you want to say, that's fine. But I do want to do a 2 minute silence for him. Once you've said your next point.
I'm basically done what I'm saying. Because if I say any more, I'll probably get in trouble.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, actually, sorry. There is one thing what I want to say
go on.
is Destiny.
Yeah, he was weird about it.
He said that all right wing people should be afraid to speak out.
I
Uh,
didn't know about that specific bit. The main bits I saw was him originally saying, like, I hope this killer gets executed. He's evil. And then the next minute he's saying, oh, well, you prodded the bear. He was saying something weird. He was just, I can't remember exactly what he said, but at first he was
He was inciting violence against the right,
yeah.
so he had his channel terminated as he should.
Oh, it's been terminated. There you go then. So that
Yeah.
original thing he said
So,
clearly didn't matter.
Destiny, this is for you.
Yeah, what an idiot. What an idiot he's been. I mean, I was really angry at him before. Now I just think he's a bit of he's a bit of an idiot. I've cooled down about it. I just think he's a moron, and I'm glad his channel's terminated.
Me too.
I don't, but obviously, well, the reason I'm saying that is because before I was like, I'd love to jump in a boxing ring and beat the shit out of him and all this stuff. But unless he caught me out,
I think you should, it still should. But
unless,
he'd probably run away from you.
yeah, I mean, to be honest, if he called me out, I definitely would. But I'm not, the sort of person to go around looking for
Hmm.
violence. I'll only respond with violence in self-defense. That's me, Jimmy C.
Yeah. Do you want to
So
do our silence then?
yeah, so prayers, praying, prayers for Charlie Kirk, soul. He's with God now. Prayers for his wife and two children. Prayers for them. Um, yeah, I pray that God keeps him safe, and I pray that the rest of his family are kept safe also, and that they have the strength. That God gives them the strength to um, well, to learn to live with this horrible thing and realize that they will meet Charlie again in the afterlife, in God's kingdom. So let's, amen. But yeah, let's.
Amen.
I would just like to do a 2 minute silence now, and just get this picture up. Obviously, I know it's a really sad picture, but this is the embodiment of what he was. And what his legacy is, a kind family man. So I would like to do a 2 minute silence now. Right, I'm fairly sure that was 2 minutes. But yeah, I just want to say, you know, rest in peace. Young guy, gone too soon, 31 years old. Wise beyond his years, though. Sound bloke, and rest in peace.
I think he would have been president.
Welcome in, Liam. Hello there, Liam. Thank you for joining. You all right, man?
Yeah.
That's good. So yeah, now let's move on to the films. Air Force One. Get off of my plane!
Yeah. Yeah, bitch.
I instantly thought of the Family Guy bit when it happened.
Oh, what happens in Family Guy? When do they parody that?
They're all doing skydiving, and every single one of them gets chucked out of the plane by Harrison Ford. When he goes, get off my plane, he chucks each one of them off.
Oh, fair enough then, Bance. Is that? I guess that's partly where the Family Guy joke where he says, "I want my family back" over and over again comes from. Get away from me! I want my family
Maybe.
back. But yeah, Air Force
It could
One.
well be.
So, just to let you all know, me, Liam, and George are choosing films for each other to watch. George's choices were Sing a Bit of Harmony and 17 again. My choices were these two, Air Force One and The Rock. Gentlemen, welcome to The Rock.
And Liam's one is Magic Mike. And what's the other one?
What's Magic Mike?
Do you not know what Magic Mike is?
No. Let's look it up.
Liam, do you know what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, James, look it up.
Oh, for goodness sake. For goodness sake, George. That is an all right joke thrown at Liam, I guess. A bit lowbrow, but as Liam always says, as Liam's always said in the past, I expected nothing less, or why am I surprised? You know.
Well, we could review the new Magic Mike. That's correct. Magic Mike, the final dance.
No, thank you. I mean, if that's what Liam chooses, I'll probably never do this type of thing again. If Magic Mike and Magic Mike Last Dance get chosen, I'd be like, no, thank you.
That would be like an epic choice from Liam. That would.
Oh dear. But yeah, let's talk about Air Force One. No. I'm not going to lead the dance. I'm not going to lead this one.
What are you going to do it now?
Well, I was going to say you guys have the floor because usually I take over and say my opinions on the film. But lads, as it's you guys watching, as I pick this film for you guys to watch, then you guys lead it. But obviously, I'll say my opinions in a bit. But well, yeah, what do you guys think of Air Force One and all that?
Well, 0 out of 10 should have never been made. No.
All right, Liam, what do you think?
It's one of those, it's one of those somewhat decent films. I think that you'd watch, like, I don't know, maybe if you were bored one day or you wanted to pass the time, I think you'd watch it, maybe. And you could watch it once, I think, and then. But I don't think it has. I don't know. I just don't think it's probably be the best film to sort of rewatch. I don't know. Maybe some people do, but I don't know. I just don't think it's. I suppose I don't think it would hold up too well on a rewatch, but it's still a somewhat decent film. It has its positives, but
all right, then.
It has its problems.
I'll lead it for me because George is giving it 0 out of 10. Liam said, "Well, it has its problems. It's fucking shite." Uh,
Well, no.
I wasn't being serious.
okay. I honestly thought
I thought you thought that.
I honestly thought I picked two banger films that you guys would just both enjoy. You let your bellies hang out, you know, and you think, bloody hell, this film is an easy watch. It's so cool.
That is hairy, bloody hell.
The action's
Hairy.
fantastic. You know, it's such an easy watch. Harrison Ford brings so much energy in, and Gary Oldman does, but nope. Shit. But each to their own. No. It sounds like George has won so far with film picks, which is baffling.
I say I quite in the
It's baffling that 17 again and Sing a Bit of Harmony have ended up being far better than these two, I'm guessing. But who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I was gonna say we barely started talking about it, and you're already assuming we barely started talking about the films.
no. I was just taking the piss. I thought it was quite good.
No,
I thought the PS2 plane crash at the end was a bit funny.
Yeah.
Because it does look like you're playing like GTA 3 or something like that.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
And the plane just crashed on that.
The CG looked terrible. Anyway, I like how we start off with Harrison Ford giving a big speech, you know, saying, "We're not gonna back down. We're not gonna take this anymore. We're gonna get involved." And then he swung around on his Indiana Jones whip and went, "Whee!"
We're gonna cause another 9/11. Yeah, just to the other ones instead.
So then we get interactions, you know, with his government people and his family, and the government people are like, "Sir, you should have consulted us first before, you know, making such a big brash decision like this." And then he's like, you know, "Well, it's policy now." And then obviously his wife's like, "Well done," and his daughter's like, "Daddy, why can't you take me around and get me to see these war zones?" And he's like, "You're too young for that, sweetheart. You're too young." And
It'd be funny if you just put like a gun in a hand and put like a helmet on it. Okay, let's go, my little. And then gets the next scene and she just shoots a load of people.
But it seems like the action does kick off very quick because you think, well, okay, it's going to be a hostage film because I read the synopsis. How do these people get on Air Force One? Well, dun dun dun, they have an insider on the ship. Some American double crosser is on the ship, and to be honest,
I didn't see that coming.
But George, it was at the start of the film.
Yeah, it kept.
No.
What are you on about?
Yeah.
It's like you fast forwarded to 20 minutes in and just missed that scene, or you were bloody watching an anime film in the middle. It's like, oh yeah,
probably.
Oh yeah, I missed that scene.
I just kind of see 2 minutes in and wait till halfway in.
Yeah. But yeah, the plane gets taken over by Russian terrorists, and they want to get this guy called Radic out of prison, who's a dictator. They want him back in charge. I thought Gary Oldman is a fantastic villain. You know, like in other films, like in Kung Fu Panda 2, The Fifth Element, and Leon, he slaps in this film, man. He's absolutely brilliant. He's scary when he's calm and pointing guns at people, and he's also scary when he's shouting and panicking about the plane being landed back down. He's just very good. He's just a really good intimidating force. But I was going to quickly say about the double crosser. There's he doesn't say his motivations, the American bloke. He's just sitting there for the whole film. Then at the end, he says, "I'm getting off this plane." And then he shoots the guy who looks like Luke Skywalker, but then like a skinny Luke Skywalker. But then the president rustles and tussles.
That could have been a good bit. He could have gone to him and said, "Why do you look so familiar to me?"
Oh yeah, that would have been brilliant. Yeah,
yeah.
I've seen you before. This plane will do light speed in 12 parsecs. What do you guys think of the intro? And
it could have gave him a death stare.
What do you guys think of the intro? And Liam, you have the floor. What do you think of the intro and the terrorist takeover?
I mean, yeah, I suppose that was interesting. I guess it was just establishing the plot, I guess, and I guess I suppose it was fine, really. Yeah, but again, yeah, it didn't. You know, it took like 20 minutes for the terrorists to start hijacking the plane. You know, of course, the American who's meant to be with the president, he, of course, you know, was with them and he started it. And I guess it was fine, really. It's sort of like, it wasn't one of those films where it sort of started where I suppose the antagonists were established right away, even though it was still pretty early on, but it wasn't also one of those where it like was a slow burner either. So
Yeah.
it's in the middle. So, you know, it's fine, really. Yeah, it's fine. I don't really think I've got much else to say, like, you know, in terms of the intro, really.
What do you think, George?
I was going to say, I think you sent that message to the wrong chat
What message?
about you going to bed.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, for fuck's sake. Sorry about that. It's because my for fuck. Thanks for telling me, 'cause it would have, honestly, no. Aaron's only in my department for another 2 days at work, but he would have told everyone about this and screenshotted it and showed it everyone. And you look pissed or mental. So thanks for warning me about that.
Oh, damn it, you deleted all.
So for now he's gutted. I was about to give George a compliment and say, for all his edgy jokes and sabotaging the podcast, he's a good friend deep down, but clearly not after being annoyed that I deleted it. Oh, it's maybe the
I'm
family
going to go speech on the please end that.
I don't even know what you're on about.
I just saw it pop on myself. What's he talking about?
That's what I'm thinking.
Like I'm just on my own on the podcast, and for some reason I'm being so loud that it's waking Liam up, who's towns away, and George, who's a few towns away. It's waking them both up. Let me know when I can be quiet.
Yeah, oh, he gets to 2 a.m. and I just hear him moaning about Star Wars. And I'm thinking, what's that coming from?
Oh, well, thanks for the heads up. Anyway,
I don't even know what that was just about.
it was our WhatsApp group chat. I put an embarrassing message in there. Well, not embarrassing, but I put like, oh yeah, what John about? What George? Why did you put? You should have done this podcast 10 days ago. What do you mean?
It's the 21st of September today.
Oh, for pity's sake, George. I'm glad we didn't do it.
Hijacking a plane 10 days ago.
No, I know, but I'm glad that we didn't do it because you would have been going mad with the jokes. You would have said,
I really would have.
games, and it would be me on Air Force One flying into, I don't even want to say where. It could be any bloody building, knowing you, with your bloody humour.
I'm just trying to think what's going on. Hang on. Is it like the TTC or something like that? One.
What are you on about?
It's basically the new version of the buildings.
Oh, can we just talk about the film, George? That's what I
I
asked
am
you.
talking about the film.
For fuck's sake, let's just move on to the next bloody. Oh, I didn't realise when you put someone as a big screen and get rid of them, it just turns the screen black. I had no idea.
It's called the podcast.
George, are you going to say what you think of the intro? Because we don't have all day, all night.
No, we don't. Let's send any more messages there.
All right, thank you. So, come on then. What do you think of the
No,
intro?
I thought it was a good intro, and it set up the film well.
Yeah, fair enough. So, oh shit, where are my notes? Bloody hell. So, where are we? Why did I type this so? Here we go. And so, for pity's sake, what?
What, you sent another message out, have you?
No, I'm trying to find
the review. Hang on, it's just come through. Don't forget to put the condoms on it.
Thank you, George. Anyway, we'll just get through the rest of this film. And so, I like how he's not scared of death, Gary Oldman. He ain't worried one bit. you know, as he kills both pilots straight away. Obviously, he has his own pilot, you know, the bloke who says, "Give me a rent" in Spider-Man the 10th. Give me rent, you know, that guy. He's
Oh,
the
yeah,
pilot.
that's why I recognise him, yeah.
Yeah. And obviously he says, you know, to avoid them landing at the airport, because that's what the pilots were going to do. And he kills a hostage every 30 minutes if his demands aren't met, which is freeing Radic. And obviously, you know, the US government aren't sure what to do, and the president's going to make his choice to protect his family. Obviously, he lets random people die, you know, for the sake of Radic not being released because of all the work they've done, which is, you can look at it in different ways. Obviously, you got to understand, like, they're his work colleagues, and all of them have worked together to get Radic behind bars. But his family, you can't let your family die over this stuff. I also like how he stays on the plane, even though you think he's off the plane at first, and I think he's some agent operative and all that stuff, and he kills a few people, and the fight scenes are intense. And, you know, he's not some super soldier. Obviously, he was a soldier, but he's not like a super soldier who beats everyone. They are tough battles that he has to go through. But obviously, he's a war hero, and, you know, in the story, and he has been at war before, so he understands these situations. And I like how he can do different things. You know, at the end of the film, he flies the plane, and then in the middle of the film, he has to rewire the wires, and he's got so much pressure on him. And I don't know, when he's worried and when he's sweating, you think, bloody hell, this dude's like some bloody jack of all trades guy. He's handling everything, man. So you got to respect that quite a bit.
Yeah.
I was going to say, he might not have had like a super soldier like serum type thing, but I think he might have been hit by gamma radiation.
Well, because in the Captain America film, he's the president.
Yeah.
He turns into
Yeah. I think of that as like a spiritual sequel to Air Force One.
I'll just get through the rest of the film.
I did want to say something then. Why couldn't he have given back the guy to the? I'll think of it now. As the main terrorist. Why couldn't they have just given him back the guy, and then just blow off where the guy was, and then shoot the guy that came out of prison?
Well, because they'd know that Radic has been killed. They'd know.
No, but if they blew off the people first, then killed Radic.
What do you mean? Who blows at Radic first?
Well, was Radic the main bad guy or the guy in prison?
Radic was the guy in prison that runs out towards the end of the film. Then they say, "Get Radic now!" And then they have to shoot Radic before he can get on the chopper.
Yeah. So why didn't they just kill the people in the chopper, kill the main bad guy who was making the threats,
So
then kill Radic?
All right, so I'll just quickly explain. So what was happening was Gary Oldman's character needed to know that Radic got out there safely. If he didn't hear anything back from the choppers, he would have killed all the hostages, so it would have been game over. The only reason they could do it at that moment was because Gary Oldman was dead and all his men were dead. That's the only reason they could do it at that moment. Because Gary Oldman has walkie-talkies.
So Gary Oldman couldn't have been shot straight away, otherwise his other men would have known.
Are we thinking of the right person? Because Radic couldn't have been shot because he needed to know Radic got on the plane safely.
Well, you just said the name twice.
So
well,
no, I don't know the name of Gary Oldman's villain. So all right, let me look it up. So Radic and Gary Oldman are different. Gary Oldman plays somebody else. He doesn't play Radic. Radic is a different person. Radic's the person in prison, the dictator that he wants them to release. That's who he is. So Gary Oldman has walkie-talkies. He's saying release Radic, but I need to know that he's safe. If Radic's not safe, he's going to kill him. He's going to kill the people, and he's got men who have walkie-talkies who can also speak to him. He plays Ivan Korshunov. So Ivan needs to know that Radic gets there safely, George. That's why they can't kill Radic, because if he doesn't hear anything about Radic, then he's going to know that Radic's dead, and he's just going to execute the hostages.
So couldn't they have just killed Ivan and then killed Radic afterwards? Ivan was dead.
Well, Ivan's on the plane and he has all the guns and all the soldiers, and everyone else is unarmed. So I don't know how that's going to go down.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I don't really. I mean, they're killing when they get the chance to kill him, George.
I was thinking he was in a separate building What I didn't realise. Yeah.
George, were you off your head watching bloody bizarre animes at the same time?
Mm.
What was he
No,
There's scenes with him and Harrison Ford talking to each other and him telling him
He's on the
"F you,
plane
Mr. President."
with them. Duh. George.
Duh.
Yeah.
I thought that was a different character. I didn't realise that was him.
Oh, okay.
I got confused.
Sure, okay. So I enjoy the fight scenes between him and the other terrorists, and he has to wrestle with the consequences of letting one of the government staff die, as he wouldn't give himself up to Gary Oldman. He didn't want them to know that the president was still on board, that he was still on board, and obviously when he looked up those stairs, those men still had guns at him. I like as well how there's a lot of one-upping in the low regions of the plane, like him dropping the fuel, then the terrorists guarding the entrance for him to not be able to get up to the upper floors, and then obviously he gets them to lower the plane to 15,000 feet so the hostages can get off the plane. I feel like the scenes when Ullman's explaining his perspective is pretty compelling. Like he says to the president's daughter, like, I am not a bad man, you know, I have kids of my own. I'm just a soldier in war and all that stuff. And he's like, the president kills people in war as well. He kills people, except he does it with a push of a button. And I don't really...
Good thing it's not me. I just became people that I don't like.
And like I said, I don't really get the guy who helps terrorists.
I didn't kill him. He's just disappeared.
And I don't really get the bloke who helps the terrorists, to be honest. He doesn't explain why he feels the way he feels. He's just there's no backstory to him, and he's quite a plain character. And like I said before, he tries to stop.
A good joke.
What?
He's a plain character.
Oh, well, did I just say that?
He said he was a plain character.
That's brilliant. Bloody hell, I didn't even realise I made that joke. That's like a bloody 8.5 out of 10 joke, that. Bloody hell, great pun. But yeah, boring guy who was just used as a plot device. It just seemed weird at the end when he tries to stop the president from leaving. Like, bro, there's no way if he had stopped the president from leaving that they would have believed that the president let one of his bodyguards go first. That was bloody stupid, man. That would have been dumb. Like, they would have basically said, they would have said to him, get the fuck off the bloody cargo plane ship. Also, I really rated the driver that the pilot that looked like Luke Skywalker. Like, he knew he wasn't escaping, man. He knew he wasn't getting off that plane. And he said, go, Mr. President, please. I thought, man, this dude's a legend, bro. Even though the president's giving him a chance to leave, he still puts the president first. Like, what a G.
And then he gets gunned down.
Yeah, then he gets shot, and you're like, oh. But I guess that at least he doesn't die in a horrible plane crash like the bloke like the betrayer who dies in the PS2 plane crash. All I'll say is, though, this is the weakest part of the film for me. After Oldman dies, after he says, get off of my plane! And then Ullman gets strangled by like the parachute rope. You know, I feel like the film's quite dragged down. It's just us waiting for the president to get rescued and he's losing fuel. I feel like the final sequence should have been cut down, and maybe like Ullman's maybe they should have had done a little bit more with Ullman as a villain, because he was the main villain.
I thought it was fine. I thought it was done just quite nicely. It gave that bit of suspense by the end.
I get where you're coming from.
It wasn't. Oh, yeah, he's dead. It's done. It's finished.
You make a good point, but I just feel like on the first watch I enjoyed that, but on the second watch I was just kind of twiddling my thumbs waiting for the film to end.
I get what you mean on like the second watch, but on like the first watch, you are thinking, well, what's happened? The plane's still going down.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's just like the weakest part of the film for me. But but yeah, it's all right. The remaining threats aren't as interesting as Ullman's presence. It feels like we're kind of just waiting around for the film to end. But I'd say it's a very great film, 8.5 out of 10. And now, yeah, you guys have the floor. What do you guys want to say about it?
I'm going to give it a...
No, like your overall...
Well, I just think was a good overall film. Kept the suspense up, good villain, good main character, and it is deserving of its knowledge.
So what would you give it out of 10 then?
I have to give it a 7.5.
Oh, fair play. What's your opinion on the rest of the film, Liam, and what would you give it?
So I thought that the first hour maybe was possibly like the best part of the best part of the film. Like probably where everything's established, and I said the terrorists begin hijacking the plane at the 20-minute mark. So, like I said, not right away, but it's not much of a slow burn either. Like you said, I thought Gary Oldman played the villain well, the main villain. I thought his Russian accent was convincing. And he is one of the highlights of the film, really. He's one of the best parts of it. But again, he's a great actor, really. So he really immerses himself in his roles. He has a few angry outbursts like he does in a few other films, and he's genuinely unsettling. I suppose Harrison Ford was probably one of the best parts as well. His acting was good. I think Gary Oldman's the standout, though, I'd say.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And then I thought, in general, the acting was mostly good or fine. I just thought there were certain lines here and there that weren't maybe delivered so well. I thought that was probably more so like in the second hour of the film, or like the third act.
Why are you bringing it to me? I'm not the one talking.
Yeah, I thought the midpoint.
Genuinely do it.
Are we finished?
You know the answer,
Oh,
but I can't say yet YISSSS. But yes, we are finished.
Yeah. Okay. So
I don't get it myself.
no, I don't know.
I was going to say yes, we're finished with that joke.
Okay, I see. I can see. I can see. I can see.
I'll see it too.
Anyway, yes, I thought the midpoint of the film, like the halfway point, was kind of. I thought that where things slowed down a bit, and it was a bit of a slog. Personally, I don't know. I thought for a bit then, I was kind of not sort of as interested or paying attention as much. I thought the third act. I don't know. The third act. I don't know. I thought it was a bit messy, kind of a bit messy, really, a bit messy in places. It used more special effects like than the rest of the film, of course, with like the plane and people, like when the fuel hatch door was opening and the green screen and all that, and people, hostages getting off the plane, and the rest of them going over to that other plane, and certain effects that do still hold up, but then a decent amount, especially in that third act, don't, and you can see the imperfections. I remember there was even a shot with Harrison Ford. I think it's when he gets off Air Force One, and he's still hanging onto the wire after it's gone into the water. And I think in the shot, you can kind of see see through him a bit, see through Harrison Ford a bit, like, because the effect wasn't sort of perfect. Like you can kind of see, I think, like the plane or something behind him. He's not like completely, opaque like he should be. Yeah, I thought. Again, I thought it was interesting that Gary Oldman was defeated a bit sooner than I thought, considering he was the main antagonist. But I guess there were a few other obstacles to overcome. The fight scenes were mainly okay. Thought certain parts of the choreography could have been executed better, though. But yeah, and like I said at the start, it's one of those somewhat decent films that you might watch once to pass the time. But I think probably the more you rewatch it, I don't know, probably holds up worse, and I just don't think it is as good in terms of rewatchability, I'd say. So I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
Oh, first, you still give it a decent rating. That's pretty cool. Now on to The Rock. Welcome to The Rock, gentlemen. Yes. I must ask you a question, but I'm shaving it for later.
Dwayne Johnson.
That's what I originally thought when people tell me about the film The Rock, but then I realised, like, oh, there's an actual film called The Rock. Brilliant.
Yeah.
So this was my opinion on The Rock. I'll just talk about it. Where are we? There we go. So I like how the Colonel and his men straight away, they storm that base and they kill the Marines, and then you see how dangerous the that gas is. That gas from the green balls. That absolutely bloody annihilates that person who gets trapped in the room with it after one green ball breaks. It's like some demented version of Green Goblin gas or something. And obviously, I like how at the start, because his wife passes away and he says, I'm sorry, this is just something that I have to do. That's when he goes on his journey to, like I say, kill all those soldiermen and execute his grand plan. But yeah, so I like as well how we start off with bloody Nicolas Cage, and it's just typical Nicolas Cage fashion. It's him playing with the toy gun, and then it leads to a bunch of things going bing bong bing, and then and then like it gets set on fire, and then someone comes in and goes, "You got too much free time on your hands, lads."
He could have had his face burnt off.
Face off. And then he says, I've been waiting ages for this album. I've been waiting ages for this $600 Beatle album. I'm a Beatle nutcase, man. And then he has to go down and bloody deactivate a bomb that was sent in. And the bomb sprays deadly gas. And it's just quite a chaotic, mad, typical Michael Bay scene. Like, the bloke's like, you got to stab yourself in the heart, guys. And he's like, I'm not stabbing myself in the heart. I'm not doing that. Have you seen how sharp this is? And then Nick Cage isn't having none of it neither, and he's trying to deactivate the bomb. And that was a good intense scene, but obviously, he's not going to die at the start of the film, is he? But they still had a good job making it intense.
It would have been funny if he died at the start.
Well, we would have made the film a bit boring. But yeah, I guess.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, so basically, the Colonel's kidnapping the he goes to Alcatraz, and I feel like there's seeds that are planted that make him a bit of a compelling villain. Like when there's kids looking around Alcatraz, he says, "Go and go and leave now. Tell one of the adults that you need to leave or something." Because he didn't want kids to be a part of this trap. So that the Colonel deep down isn't going to be like some next level evil villain, but you're not entirely sure because he
and you can't really have kids in Alcatraz, can you? Really?
True. But yeah, what happened was his main motivation was because he wanted the government to pay reparations to families of soldiers who died during the war, unacknowledged top secret military operations. He feels like the government betrayed him, and a moral obligation has fallen to him and his men to try and get money for themselves, compensation for everything that they've been through, but also get money to the families. The families.
I'd say I found that a really good reason.
Yeah, you kind of.
It was like a Thanos type thing where you sympathise and like kind of agree with what he's doing.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But obviously, I think Sean Connery makes better points later on in the film when he goes, "This is not combat, sir. This is an act of lunacy."
Well, yeah.
Because killing like bloody millions of people just to get millions of dollars. George, why are you sticking your belly in the camera? What the hell's going on?
Sorry, I just fixed my bed.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh.
But yeah, so after that, they're like, what do we do? Do we give him all this money because he's going to launch rockets at San Francisco? And he's like, we know to get on the case. And Nick Cage is like a chemical weapons expert. And the other person that gets on the case is Sean Connery, a.k.a. John Mason, SAS operative, who had all of America's secrets. And obviously he got put in prison because he had all their secrets. And he wouldn't tell me where he hid their secrets. So that's why he's been in prison for 30 years. He was
probably in an I-5.
He was chucked in prison without trial. The British government stabbed him in the back, and the American government was like, "No, mate, we're chucking you in prison without trial. Bye bye." Which was pretty bad. But the reason why they need his unique set of skills is because he escaped Alcatraz years ago, and obviously they need to get a team of Navy SEALs in there who go in the secret way. Because obviously, if they go in the main entrance, the Marines are just going to shoot them and kill them all. But Yeah. It's interesting having a criminal who's been locked away for 30 years because you do not know what he's going to do. And an example of this is when he's like, I like a hotel suite and a feeling of a new suit and a haircut. And then, he punches Womack in the face, that annoying government agent bloke, who just seems like a massive job's worth. He punches him in the face, but then he's saying to Nick Cage, "I'll drop your boss if you don't put that gun down." And then he punches Nick Cage in the face. And that sequence where he's running off and escaping, and that chase sequence is bloody brilliant, man. I loved it. It's just so well put together and well choreographed and just crazy. And it does seem a bit daft, like Sean Connery, Serious SAS man, doing all these silly one-liners, like when he crashed into someone badly, he goes, "Oh, I hope you had insurance." It's like, what are you saying all this? It's like an SAS operative who's been locked away in prison for 30 years will not be saying these silly one-liners. Maybe some geeky, bloody chemical weapons specialist would be saying that, but not bloody, not an SAS.
Well, maybe he's just been bored, stuck in there for God knows how many years, and just thinks it'll be a bit of fun.
Maybe. But yeah, so that chase sequence was hilarious, and I found the bit so funny when Nick Cage is like, when that bloke says, when the Ferrari gets totaled by that little tram that flies off the track, and he goes, he says, "I hope that's not your car." "No, it's not my car. Neither is this bike." And then he pushes the bloke over and just goes away on his bike. Like, steals an innocent civilian's bike. What a dick. And then he rings one of his mates. He's like, "I don't feel too good about this."
Well, what bikers do deserve it?
I don't know. He might have been an alright biker, you don't know. But yeah, he destroys half the city to go and see his daughter, which is pretty wholesome. And he says, "I'm not an evil man. And if you can believe that, that's a start." So that was pretty cool. And I like how Nick Cage covers for him at first. He's like, "Ma'am, he's with the FBI. He's with us. We need him for a mission." So that was pretty cool. I don't know. I do feel quite sorry for him because, he was sent by the British government on a mission. And granted, you shouldn't really be stealing the country's secrets. But at the same time, it's like he's picking up all the pieces. He's the one who's lost all the years of his life in prison, while the British government were just probably laughing. Well, just living their lives and all that. But what did you guys think of the intro and midsection?
I thought it was
Yeah, it was probably. I thought the actual intro as well was. I thought that's probably one of the best parts of the film in terms of the shots, the cinematography, the score. I suppose it was mostly good, really. I guess the car chase was that was impressive too, and it was quite long, and I suppose it was mostly good, really. Yeah.
What about you, GC?
I quite enjoyed it. I think getting to know the characters of Nicolas Cage and Connery, I thought was really good. I did like the cheesy one-liners, because it was just a little bit of like 90s fun. I think kind of like with Die Hard, that kind of thing. And it is that is one of the best Christmas movies. I don't know when the Rock came out though.
1996.
Yeah, I don't know what month though. It could have been a good Easter movie or something like that.
Well, it did well in the box office. I think it got bloody 300 million, 375 million.
Yeah. But I think overall that start was quite good, and I think the settings were quite good as well, because it made you think it was at Alcatraz.
No, it was Alcatraz, George.
Oh, well, is that actually filmed there?
Yes. I'll just look it up to confirm, but I'm about 95% sure it was filmed there. The Rock filmed at Alcatraz. Most of the
I thought
movie
it was just.
was filmed at Alcatraz prison, Alcatraz Island in San Francisco, though some scenes were filmed elsewhere, like California, such as the Fairmont Hotel.
Oh, well, I didn't realise that. I just thought they got really good sets.
No, it was
For
actually
it.
filmed at Alcatraz, but it would have been impressive if they did get sets that good, but nope, it was filmed at Alcatraz,
No.
which is pretty cool. That's why it looks so good.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, anyway, so as the rest of the film carries on, there's quippy one-liners, cool stuff. I don't know why, I like this line when he's like, I know, good speed, that you never went to any anti-terrorist school. So just don't make sure you don't get us all fucking killed. I thought that line was just pretty cold and badass. Like, even though he's been in prison for years, he's like, look, I don't want to die. Like you've never done this before. And I like as well how they get in the Rock, and you don't know what his intentions are. Like he does all that escaping stuff where he rolls under the underneath the fire things and all that jazz. Like, what's he going to do? What is he going to do? Is he going to stab him in the back or? But then he opens the door and he goes, "Gentlemen, welcome to the Rock." It was really cool. As well, even though he was getting in there to help the Navy SEALs basically got their position given away straight away because of those little trap things. And it doesn't matter how good you are at strategy and how tough you are. If there's about 10 of you and bloody 20 odd Marines pointing guns at you, and you don't have that much cover. It doesn't matter how skilled you are as a soldier. You're 9 times out of 10 not going to win that fight. The best thing they could have done was just run away and get the Marines to actually come after them, and that would have been a lot better. That would have been a better strategy. But then we wouldn't have had as much of a crazy.
Could have been.
Then we wouldn't have had as much of a crazy, exciting film. It was really sad when that young bloke who was like in his early mid 20s said, "No, let me go up there now," and then he gets shot and then gets flung down the ladder. That was pretty sad. And again, there was more seeds.
He shouldn't have gone up then, should he?
Yeah. And there was more seeds planted that the general's not such a bad dude because he gives them loads of chances and he keeps shouting, "Cease fire, cease fire," and then all the other soldiers are still shooting at the Marines after they're dead. So you know that a lot of them are just twits. Oh yeah, one of the soldiers was that environmental lunatic from the 12 Monkeys. The one who carries that the virus at the end, who Bruce Willis tries to shoot. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, I did know. I did know. From the 12 years or so, yeah.
So his second in command. Again, just to warn everyone, because George has made a few edgy jokes this stream that I haven't acknowledged, because I'm trying to think to myself, you know what? Like, don't acknowledge George's jokes and he'll tell less of them. But that's the opposite. You acknowledge the jokes and he tells more of them. And he tells more. He keeps prodding the bear, So just to make you aware, the Banterous Hour as a brand does not endorse. These aren't the opinions of the. George is not in. George is not
Yes, they are. Everybody
sod. None of George's bizarre opinions reflect the Banterous Hour brand, and I'm pretty sure they don't reflect Liam's views as well. I'd like to think.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Liam's confirmed that they don't reflect my views neither. So yes. So I like to do that. I'm going to do that disclaimer more often after George keeps prodding the bear with these too many edgy jokes. Anyway,
they got the fingers crossed off screen.
Anyway,
that's the sound the frame made. Hit the second tower. So 12 monkeys and
for goodness sake, all I try to do is give a nice little bit of trivia, and George has to shart on it with edgy madness, as always. Anyway, so like I say, so it was cool to see that bloke play like a regular character in this, and not some like environmentalist nutcase. You know, he just, well, not a regular bloke. He's a bloke who bloody killed people and shot Navy SEALs, but obviously he was doing it as a means to an end to try and help him get money, help the colonel get money for the dead soldiers' families, and I guess get $1 million for himself. So yeah, anyway, all the Navy SEALs get killed. So then Sean Connery and Nick Cage are like, they don't know what to do. So Sean Connery leaves, and I don't really blame him, to be honest. Because like, how is a nutcase that how he's a chemical weapons specialist and 61-year-old SAS veteran who has done no combat for 30 years, how are they going to beat like 25 Marines with a brilliant artillery? I don't think they've got much chance. I don't blame him trying to leave at first, but then obviously he sticks around because they start bloody bombing the gutters. They start throwing grenades down there, so that's pretty intense. They had a good fight scene where they're on like this minecart type thing, and yeah, that fight scene was pretty cool. You know, with Sean Connery hanging off the edge and falling in the sea, and then them both getting split up. I like the bit where you know, Sean Connery actually turns himself in and speaks to the general. That bit was really cool. You know, when they say, "You will address him as General, sir," and then he's like, you know, "General, sir, this is act of lunacy. You know, how he's killing. This is not combat. This is just an act of lunacy." So that bit was pretty cool. And he just said, "Look, I know the general's not going to blow everyone up. I can see it in his eyes. He's not that bloody crazy." So that bit was pretty cool and ballsy. But obviously, he gets put in prison. Cage gets put in prison, and then an iconic bit in there was when he goes, "I look forward to gutting you, boy." That bit was hilarious when he keeps saying that in prison, and then Sean Connery's just like, you know, telling him his life story and escaping the prison again. That was pretty badass. And then he's leaving, and then Nick Cage is like, "No, I've got a wife and daughter in the city. Come on!" And then he's like, "No, I'm going. Goodbye, you stupid idiot. Goodspeed. You're going to get yourself sniped." But then obviously he comes back in a legendary way because some bloke's pointing a gun at Goodspeed, and he's like, "Look, it's you know, what if it comes back and blows you up and all this stuff?" I can't remember exactly what he said, but then Sean Connery comes and breaks his neck, and that was pretty cool. Breaks the bad guy's neck. I like as well when Sean Connery fights those two Marines, and he goes, "You must never hesitate," and he kills one of them, and then he kills another one by shooting him in the feet and then dropping an air vent on him. That was pretty cool. What else was pretty badass? I liked how we get revealed that the Colonel wasn't actually a bad guy. Well, he was, but like he sort of says to his Marines, he's like, "Do you really think I'm going to bloody..." Well, he didn't say bloody, obviously, but "Do you really think I'm going to kill like 60, 70,000 people? Do you think I'm some lunatic?" He's like, "Sir, I want my money." And he's like, "Well, look, I'll face these consequences myself. You guys get out of here." And he's like, "Sir, I'm not a Marine anymore. As soon as I joined you on this mission, I became a mercenary, and I want my money." And then all the other Marines turn bad. One Marine gets bloody gruesome death when he's fighting Nick Cage, and Nick Cage bloody like smashes the glass in his jaw. And then Nick Cage has to inject himself in the heart. That was so cool when he goes, "Oh," and then falls down, and then he ends up surviving. That was a really sick scene, man. What else was cool? You know, obviously it's quite intense because they're like, "Look, we need to send the jets in," and then Nick Cage has the two flares, and he's going, "Oh," like that, and then you know, they shoot the rockets, and no one gets killed. That was really cool. And well, Nick Cage nearly dies, but John Mason saves him, which was pretty cool. And then after that, John Mason is like, "Do you know the meaning behind your name, Goodspeed? It's Godspeed, you know. Wish you well on your journey you're going on. And are you up for a journey, Mr. Goodspeed?" You know. Oh, pardon me. And he tells him all the secrets. Where he shows him where the location is, where all the secrets are. Which is pretty cool. And I like how Sean Connery just come back to help because even though he didn't get to, he basically missed out on his daughter's life because he was in prison. I like how he's not some jealous old guy. He's like, "You know what? Let's give Goodspeed, Godspell, Goodspeed, Godspell, all the same." you know, he wants to give Goodspeed a chance at living. Doesn't want his daughter to grow up fatherless, which is pretty cool and wholesome of him to help out. And yeah, so so yeah, it's pretty cool. I like as well how Womack wasn't actually going to release him, and he's like, I want to see that piece of shit blown up. Even after he's helped, I thought, Womack, what a piece of shit, man. He's such a scumbag. But William Forsythe backed up backed up Goodspeed and said, yeah, he's been disintegrated. And then obviously John Mason goes to live his life, and I'm assuming that Nick Cage leaves the FBI because he's just driving around having a laugh, or he could just be celebrating his marriage. I don't know. He gets to find out all of America's secrets, so that's pretty cool. I'm torn between giving this an 8.5 or a 9 because I feel like the films I give 9 are like brilliant, and this film has a lot of silly quips in it and silliness. But you know what? I'm going to say this was an amazing film. 9 out of 10. Easy watch. Subverted my expectations pretty well. Great action. Really immersed me with it being actually filmed at Alcatraz. 9 out of 10. Maybe I'm being too generous, but I thought it was amazing. Liam, George, what do you guys?
Okay.
What have you got?
Guys, I think I'm starting to like fat people.
Oh dear.
Anyway, so
I could fancy a whale.
So of course, you know, it's of course, you know, a fast-paced action-packed film, which you know is typical of Michael Bay. I think I'd say I preferred the second half of the film more to the first half. You know, especially as we get to see Nick Cage and Sean Connery working together, and they have good chemistry. To be fair. It's good when they're on screen together. I thought the soundtrack was pretty good overall as well. I know Hans Zimmer, he was one of the composers. I noticed that he said that at the start. I thought, like I said, the intro opening scene was one of my favourite parts with some of the best cinematography in the film. And I said about how some great shots and the score as well. And like you've said, though, there's like a lot of funny one-liners or humorous one-liners, and I suppose Bay is known for doing that in his films as well because he does it in his later films too.
Yeah,
and in this film, it's pretty much just silly one-liners, and some kind of work, some don't work, some are kind of out of place, like you say, like with Sean Connery talking about I hope you've got insurance. That I think that one was out of place. It didn't work. And
definitely.
Yeah, I know it kind of gives the film a bit of a charm, I suppose, but yeah, I didn't really find any of the one-liners funny. You know, I guess some of them were fine, but you know, but yeah, I thought the characters were pretty much all good and interesting. There's plenty of explosions, of course, which again, Michael Bay is known for that, and set pieces.
Yeah, I did expect a lot of explosions.
Yeah, even if this is one of his earlier films, I guess. Yeah, the car chase, like I said, that's long and it's impressive, really, I suppose. I did think personally, I don't know, I know it's an action film, so it's to be expected, but I don't know, I felt like maybe at times it was too action heavy, I don't know, at times, and certain scenes I thought dragged on a bit. I don't know. I thought maybe, I don't know, I thought there was a decent amount of character development and conversations between characters, but I thought, I don't know, I thought the film doesn't always, you know, give its scenes room to breathe. You know, the fast-paced nature can keep things fun, exciting, and intriguing, but I think, again, though, you know, I know this is Michael Bay's sort of style, directorial style as well. You know, a lot of his other films are quite fast-paced and like move quickly. A lot of like cuts as well and whatnot, and but yeah, I do like as well how Cage and Connery end up being the last men standing, which of course does happen. You know, it's not like it's something that happens right at the end, and of course, you know, you get to see them work together, and eventually they do somehow succeed, but they do, which is cool. And Cage proves himself, and Connery comes to respect him. But again, like Air Force One, I'd probably rewatch this over Air Force One, and I'd say I prefer it, and it's more entertaining. Don't know that I'd choose to rewatch this personally, but I'd probably rewatch it over another action film like Die Hard 2.
Okay.
So I thought, personally, overall, I thought it was decent, 7.5.
Okay, that's generous. What about you, George?
So I didn't realise it as a Michael Bay movie until that car chase.
Yeah.
I'd say that the Ferrari 355, gorgeous as always. I'd say it is a lot more rewatchable than Air Force One. Even though that could be a good film to watch again on a oh god. So so I think it's a good rewatchable thing. I'd give it. How much did I give it? Air Force One, an 8.
Think so.
So I gave that an 8. I'm gonna give this an 8.5.
Oh, cool. Fair play. Well,
But it is a close 9.
You know what? So overall, then you guys thought it was all right, actually. So I think I gave you a decent choice. I honestly thought
Yeah.
I thought you might like it better than you both said. But you know what? I did my best, and it is what it is. But as they're
I
saying,
was tempted to say like a 1 for Air Force One,
that would have been annoying.
just to take the piss.
All right then. Well, let's move on to segments then, because obviously we ain't got loads of time.
Am I Jaws kidding me?
Generally knowledgeable. So this is a segment where I give 3 questions and either one guest or 2 guests answer the questions. And this time it's head to head. Let's see if you guys get them right or wrong. So which of these films grossed the most at the box office? So is it A, Captain America Civil War, B, Transformers Dark of the Moon, C, Top Gun Maverick, D, Mario Bros. Movie 2023?
Ooh, that's close. It's close.
It's between 2 for me.
Which, oh.
Do you want me to say which 2 or not?
No, be strategic. Be strategic. Well, you can if you want, yeah. If it's, do you want to give Liam a clue? Dun dun dun. You know,
there's just 2 I know did really well.
I think I know what I'm going to go for.
Does yours start with an M?
No, I don't know whether to say yes. I don't want to potentially influence your answer.
No, mine's one with an M.
No.
All right then. Do you guys want to throw your final answers out there then?
Okay.
Hang on. Just give me 1 second just to think.
Don't Google it, George.
I'll wait for you to make your mind.
No. I'm still in. You know when I'm googling is when my screen freezes up and I don't talk.
All right.
Hang on. Just give me 1 second to think. Cause I've seen both of these movies that I'm thinking of. Right, I've got mine. I've got it.
All right, go on
then.
Shall we both say it in 3, 2, 1?
Captain America Civil
War. Maverick.
Final answers.
Yep.
Final answer.
Yep. So Top Gun Maverick was right, George. I swear you've Googled that.
No, I haven't.
How did you know that? There's no way you knew that one.
No, all I did, I knew it was quite well known because it was known just as good as the original. I've seen both of them because the other one was going to be a Mario movie, and I know both films did really, really well.
Okay, fair enough.
I was so close to going with Mario movie, but I just thought
I shouldn't say that
because it's not a Nintendo or.
Is George Googling it? That's what I thought.
No, I was just trying to calculate it because I knew Civil War had done well, but it wasn't done as good as Endgame or Infinity War.
I know that.
I don't know. I forgot what the next one was.
Transformers: Dark of the Moon.
Yeah, I knew Transformers Dark Moon wouldn't have done well because that was when
I
they
mean, they're all
started
over
having
a
the dip
billion.
off.
They all did exceptionally well at the box office. They all got
Yeah.
over $1 billion.
Over $1 billion, yeah.
Yeah, but they weren't as good as what they were. They were at the start, were they?
What
do
the
you mean?
Transformers: Dark of the Moon?
Yeah, the
Oh,
Transformers movies.
Worse, yeah.
They kind of went on a downward spiral, and then
All right,
I just knew Maverick and maybe did really well.
all right then. Well, fair play, George. Fair play. Next question: which of these movies won Best Picture in 1994? Is it A. Forrest Gump, B. Shawshank Redemption, C. Pulp Fiction, or D. Four Weddings and a Funeral?
And that's between two again for me as well.
Very hard because that year had a lot of good films, man. 1997 had some good films as well. Really good films. Pretty much.
Same with 1984.
I didn't have a lot of good films. I'm going to look at what.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure didn't Temple of Doom come out? Here we go. It was Temple of Doom 1985. Right? No, it was 84, I think.
I don't know whether it was the end of 84 in like certain countries, was it? And then it came out in 85, maybe in others. I don't know.
Once Upon a Time in America. What else have we got?
Ghostbusters.
I haven't seen that.
84.
Oh, Terminator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
first time. No.
Beverly Hills Cop.
How's Ghostbusters not turned up on there? I think what's it called? Back to the
Gremlins.
Future. What was that? 84.
No,
I think it
85.
was 85. Yeah.
85.
Well, that one was pretty alright. Yeah, they've got some decent films in 84, yeah. Alright then, what do you guys reckon the answer is?
See, mine's still on two again. And they're basically like complete opposites to one another.
Oh, actually, I've changed my mind. It was between two, but I think I'm gonna go with the other one instead. Yeah.
Alright then.
Okay.
What are your guys' final answer? George, you got the last question right. You go first. What's your final answer?
I'm gonna go with Pulp Fiction.
Alright then. Liam, what's your final answer?
Forrest Gump.
Oh, yeah, that was my other one.
The correct answer is Forrest Gump.
Yes, I was right to change my mind. It was between that and Shawshank for me.
Yeah.
I don't know Pulp Fiction or that one for me.
Did Shawshank win any Oscars? I don't know if it did.
It's got to have won some, I reckon, but it did not win Best Picture.
See, Oscar-wise, yeah, it doesn't make sense it being not Pulp Fiction, Forrest Gump.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great film. It's one of my favourites of all time, Pulp Fiction, but obviously, with all the effing and jeffing and violence and madness, it's not going to really... It's not going to win the Best Picture.
No, I was thinking like cast-wise, that's why.
Oh, yeah, that's a good way to look at it. But quality-wise, yeah, it did deserve it, or was close to deserving it. But obviously, with all this, it's hard to have like a film that's as violent as that and crazy. Like, you know, you've got like a mad rape scene where Marcellus Wallace is getting raped by those rednecks, and then you got bloody Butch having a breakdown over his watch and going mad at his missus and saying, she's a fucking idiot, I specifically reminded her, you know, and all this stuff. And like Samuel L. Jackson going, English motherfucker, do you speak it? And then the thing Quentin Tarantino said is Jimmy, that character, when he said, is there a sign on my house that says, you know, dead something storage? I'm not going to say what it was, but you know, with him saying that,
I can say it if you want.
No, George, please don't. So, like I say, a film that has all that madness in is not winning. He's not winning Best Picture. You know,
I love that line. That is one of my favourite lines of all time.
Oh dear. Anyway, final question for this generally knowledgeable segment. According to CNET
Yeah,
and
one
Business
more.
Insider, which being causes the most human deaths? Is it A, humans, B, mosquitoes, C, snakes, or D, dogs?
What kills humans more?
Yeah.
Well, that's got to be easy.
All right then. Well, what's your final answer then?
I want him to go first this time.
It's got to be easy.
Well, yeah, I suppose I should go first because I won that
Yeah, he
time.
won the last
so-
one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
I mean, it could be a bit of a trick question, but I'm going to say humans.
I'm going to say humans as well.
I am
Okay.
afraid you are both wrong. It's actually
Okay.
mosquitoes.
Mosquito.
surprisingly.
Okay.
According to
No.
George, it is. I'll get the Wikipedia if you want.
Okay, look it up. Then look how many basically gun deaths there is, and how many people died in war to each other as well.
No, it's not of all time. It's just like, oh, George, you bloody being a smart ass. I'm just getting the business inside.
so business side is wrong, but I'm right. Is that what we're saying?
Look, this is per year, okay? So I should have said per year. But,
Oh, yeah, you should have said per year. But you didn't, so I was right.
Oh, shut up. Anyway, this is it, yeah?
So it's okay. So according to that, I mean, humans are second, and I mean, mosquitoes have got a good lead, but humans then are like,
Yeah.
a bit behind, but still quite a bit in front of the rest.
Right.
Have you seen them? Have you seen the mosquito jet by Jimmy Carr?
Oh, no.
No, you should look it up.
Anyway, do you want to? Okay, I guess I should have said per year. Sorry about that. But at the end of the day, who cares? It makes it more fun, exciting, bloody match, as you both got it wrong. I think you would have gone for humans
Well,
anyway.
no, I got it right.
I certainly would have gone for humans. So
yeah.
Well, we drew. That was a draw. So
yeah,
fair play.
Mm-hmm.
fair play. All right.
It's going to hear educating Jimmy. Yeah, well, my weird factor of the it used to be a weird factor of the week, but now it's like weird factor of the year. So, did you know there is an insect that can lay eggs underneath the skin, and its babies will eat out of the skin to fly away?
Oh, that sounds.
And there was a man who had it right behind his ear there, right there,
And they ate his skin.
and it ate through the flesh of his skin, and he could hear it in his ear while he slept.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's one of the grimmest things ever.
yeah. You find out afterwards when they're gone, but you can just hear him eating his flesh.
I bet it kills while it's happening. That's horrible.
Oh, I bet it does. Yeah. But yeah, it can happen easily in Africa.
Yeah. Well, that was educating Jimmy. I guess I'll keep going till 10. I wanted to bring up some news briefly. Nintendo with this bloody Mario jazz, bringing Mario Galaxy back. $80 in total. Can you believe it? $80 to buy those games individually, Mario Galaxy. And if you buy them together, well, you're okay, George. Yeah, if you buy them together, they're 70, but you're okay because you have the Mario collection, so you only have to pay $40 for the Mario Galaxy 2. So you're sorted. But for the common fan,
give me that money. Give me that game, Nintendo.
What are you gonna
take my money? Take my money, Nintendo.
Consuming, as the app man says. Right, so you want them to take your money anyway.
There's only 4 games, not 4 games, 3 games I want with my Switch 2. Oh no, 4.
Waifu Simulator, Hentai Simulator, MG Boom Boom Simulator.
They took them all. They've taken them games off the stores, unfortunately.
It's because it's like a lot of it's AI rubbish, isn't it? It's like on the PlayStation.
Yeah,
Store,
and that's all like adult games people play as well, like Honey Pop and them kind of things.
Oh, so they used to have trash games on the Nintendo Store.
They used to have like full hentai games on there.
Serious? For real?
Yeah, everywhere,
How did they get away
absolutely
with that?
everywhere. Nintendo just didn't care.
You think they go ballistic knowing them?
No, it was your fault. Beat 'em Ups who I watched made a video all about it. I'll try and find it and send it
Was
to
he
you.
laughing at them?
It was saying that how it should have been taken down basically.
Yeah, he's right, really, isn't he?
Not really, because I quite enjoyed them, but and
But all I'll say is, at the end of the day, like, I understand it happening on Steam, and I even understand it happening on, like, you know, PlayStation and Xbox to an extent, because with those consoles, things can just slip through on the store, which are just garbage. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, and especially on Steam, anyone can upload any old garbage if they really want to. But with Nintendo, you think as they're very family orientated that they'd be on top of it and not have these horrendous games on there?
not really. When you see like a more 34 of Mario characters.
Yeah, but Rule 34 is just a bunch of degenerates getting together, wasting their time making garbage. That's not Nintendo as a company. Maybe there are game designers in there, I don't know, but I doubt that the Nintendo devs are arsing around Rule 34 and things.
Yeah, and you've just got the president on Nintendo going on there in inspiration.
Oh dear. Liam, what's your thoughts on this? Well, actually, George, what do you think of them charging all this money for Galaxy? Because you're a big Nintendo fan. I'd like to get your opinion.
I don't think it's good, really, because you could get the game on what was it now? Was it on the Wii U for £20?
The Wii U store, yeah, adding it.
Yeah, and now it's like that much. Like, come on. And yes, I have got the 3D collection, which has what is it? 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. But I can see why they've done it, because they say, "Oh, look, we got the new Mario Galaxy movie coming out. Now you can play the games, so you know what to look for in the movie."
Yeah, what do you think then as well, Liam?
I mean, yeah, like George said, I can understand them releasing those two games together now because it's marketing essentially for the Mario Galaxy film. But again, it's still stupid, the way that, you know, the pricing. You know, two games that are like well over 10 years old, and of course the first one was already re-released as part of the 3D All Stars collection, and the 3D All Stars collection, you know, that was the whole thing of whether that was stupid because Nintendo decided to do it as a limited time thing, so you could only get it physically, like, well, new physically and on the eShop for like a certain amount of time. Then they took it off, so you can only get it, I guess, like, you know, secondhand now physically. I mean, that was still a bit cheaper for like 3 games instead of like 2 here. But yeah, it's just stupid. The whole, you know, $80 for if you get them separately and 70 if you get them together. Because again, like I said, they're you know, I suppose you could consider them as old games now at this point. And
well, they are. Yeah, they're like 2 console generations ago.
Yeah, and I know that they've kind of remastered them a bit. There's like certain visual differences they've made and whatever, but
not really. They've just said, "Oh, they got 4K now."
So
So
nothing major.
are we paying for the 4K
Yeah.
on games now?
There's like little differences if you watch certain like comparison videos, like with the textures and all that. But yeah, it's nothing sort of major from what I've seen.
No.
But no, it's another stupid decision, really. Especially for like games that are this old, you know.
Yeah, I think the main piss take is that Virtual Boy.
Well, some people think it's like odd, the Virtual Boy thing, but then other people are kind of like, oh, this is cool, but it's kind of random,
Well,
isn't it?
it is cool but random. But there's only 14 games that ever made for it,
Hmm.
and it's not like you're paying for the actual inserts or like wire and stuff like that. It's just a plastic case that you stick your Switch into it, and it's about £100.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the pricing is just stupid again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's what Nintendo's doing.
Have you seen that, James?
No.
No. Look it up. It's just like a plastic casing that you stick your head into.
It was part of the
Oh
Nintendo
wait,
Direct.
did you say the Virtual
but,
Boy?
Virtual
Yeah.
Boy, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it's stupid. Wasn't it unpopular back in the day, and then now it's
It was
like,
real unpopular back in the day. There was only 14 games. Now they're bringing them 14 games to the console, and you can buy this plastic version for about £100. And do you want to know how much the cardboard version is? For if you don't want to pay that £100,
how much? Tenner.
£30
There
for
you go. Then.
cardboard.
There you go.
I don't
So
know. Nintendo makes a lot of baffling decisions.
they do.
They've been smoking their own stuff for too long and getting high off their own success. And I mean, I do get
Now
it.
what they've done is basically they had success with the Wii. They killed all their success with the Wii U.
Yeah.
They brought it back with the Switch, and now they're doing the same thing again with the Switch 2, and they're going to kill it for profit, basically.
Yeah. I mean, they are really trying to milk the teats. And to be honest with you, the Switch 2 is doing all right so far, like nearly 6 million buys. I reckon it will definitely do better.
I'm still going to get one.
Yeah, and I'm still going to kindly ask to come round your house and play the Switch 2. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I'm still thinking of games I want. There's Mario Kart I want. There's Metroid. There's Pokemon. There was another two other games I had in my head that I completely forgot what they're called again now.
Donkey Kong
But
Bonanza? No? I don't know.
no.
Yeah.
I did think about that one, maybe, but Mario Kart.
Liam, you getting a Switch 2?
Maybe at some point, yeah. I mean, when it first came out, I was kind of a bit torn. I didn't know whether to get it. But I didn't bother to get it straight away because I thought, I don't know, I feel like the last two consoles we've had, like the Switch and the PS5, like I feel like still played, well, probably the Switch maybe slightly more than the PS5, but still, considering how long I've had both of them now, I feel like I still haven't played them loads considering, so I just don't think it's worth,
I guess as you're,
getting another console.
The older you get, the less time you have to play these games, so it's just one of those things, in it? Mid-20s, you're not going to have loads of time to just game like you used to back in the day, and gaming's just more expensive and in some aspects less fun, so because you don't, everyone's an adult now, we're all adults, we don't necessarily have time to game a ridiculous amount, and we don't all have the same games, and in this day and age, I prefer a good story game usually than playing online all the time. But yeah, to be honest, I was going to quickly say as well, the Wii U got nearly 14 million, which is abysmal, man. That's like that's just awful for like a proper official console. Even the Series X did way considerably better than that, So it's not getting to the heights of the first Switch. I mean, that's done exceptionally well. But
that's done over 150 million. 150 million, sorry. Not far off the PS2.
It could even become it depends how long they keep making new ones. There is a small chance it could. I reckon it gets second place. It's not beating the PS2 though, I reckon.
Maybe. I mean, I think I don't know. I might eventually get the Switch 2, but yeah, I'm not going to rush to get it or like be as eager to get it as I was the PS5, I suppose. So I don't think there's any point. Kind of learnt my lesson there.
I reckon it probably gets 70 odd million maybe in its lifespan. I reckon it'll still do very well, but it's not doing as good as the first one.
Yeah, I know apparently it's like the fastest selling console launch ever or something. But again, yeah, how well is it going to be consistent, or is it going to do as well as this first Switch? Really, it might not.
I was going to say with the Switch 2, if I add the games, I can send them to both of your Switches so you can play the games with me.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Which I think is a really good thing. So if I'm playing Mario Kart World, I can send it to your Switch to say play Mario Kart World, and I can send it to Liam's as well. So that would save you both buying the games and still playing them with me.
Yeah, they've 100% innovated for sure, but doing amazing things like that. But they've just been too greedy, haven't they? Way too greedy.
Yeah, and I see Xbox is doing the same thing.
Yeah, I mean that's baffling because they haven't been successful for ages.
Yeah, and they're putting their how old now 5-year-old consoles up to about $800.
Are they mad? They're raising the prices.
So, yeah, they're raising the prices for these old consoles.
Apart from like the diehard Xbox people that I know, there's basically no one I know who's got an Xbox Series X apart from the diehards.
No, I haven't. Even I've got an Xbox One and a 360, and that's all it goes up to.
Yeah.
I know that like the PS5s, they've gone up in price a little bit too, which is it's strange, really, that all these consoles have gone up in price considering how long they've been out. Usually they go down.
I think PlayStation did start it with that Pro being 800.
Oh, that was stupid. Yeah, the price of that.
Yeah. All I'll say is though, the PS5, as much as I still disagree with it, the PS5 80 million still got probably 2 years left. The Xbox Series X 28 million has been sold.
God,
I have to say the PS5 has been the best console ever. It's been fantastic.
It's pretty amazing. I will give it that.
Like playing Skate 4, you're going along cobblestones, you're going along wood, you're going along like gravel, and you can feel it in the controller of the different textures.
All I'll say, GC, the difficult thing is, like, obviously, as we're all adults, we don't have that much time to game. How can you playing like F1, Sonic, and a few other little games here and there and Skate? That isn't really the epitome of like gaming. You know what I'm saying?
No, but you still enjoy that time, and you can save a lot more playing it less.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
Or you can do an all-nighter.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong or anything. I'm just saying, like, the older you get, it's harder to get a proper insight to gaming consoles.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
Especially when nostalgia plays a factor. I'd say the best console... there's so many different ways you can weigh up the best console. The PS5's up there, but...
So there's the PS2 and the Switch, all for different reasons.
Yeah. 360, PS2, Switch, Wii, and PS5.
They're
the epitome of gaming consoles.
Yes.
And it's just all about, and when it gets to consoles that good, it's pretty much all about your preference. Do you like to play loads of games with your family? Well, the Wii and the Switch are probably the best choices. Do you like to just couch game on your own? Well, the PS5 is pretty good. Do you like couch co-op a lot with first-person shooters? Then probably the 360. Do you like retro games?
I have to say that with the Switch 2, it is doing what the PS5 is kind of doing now. Like, it's just had Resident Evil 9, which is coming out on Switch 2, PS5, and Series X and S, all on the same day. And you could not have done that before with the original Switch.
I mean, yeah, it's quite something. It'd be interesting to see how good that port is, though, the Switch 2 port is on that game.
It looks good. It's just that the kind of the same problem of what they had before is the hair. Where the hair doesn't look as good as it would do on the PS5.
And the performance as well. Is it performance going to be as good and visuals going to be...
The performance did look good from what they showed, but they do pick certain footage.
Yeah, it is going to come up short still anyway because the specs are still inferior.
Oh, of course, but like it does make a difference as you can keep playing the game, going outside and doing what you want to do. But with a game like Resident Evil, would you rather stay at home, turn the lights off, and enjoy the game in the dark and get scared and jump scared?
I suppose
sitting in the dark and not like on a bus somewhere.
Actually, Liam, it would be pretty sick if you. That is a good point. You don't want to be playing Ari on a bus, do you? You'd rather have a chill time on a bus. And obviously, buses in the UK aren't safe anymore. But if you're a Japanese person, you know, if you're on a train or a subway or a bus, you're going to want to play a happy chappy game. You're not going to, especially with their work-life balance, you're not going to want to play some like horror game, are you?
You want to go and play Honey Pop or something like that?
Yeah, all those bizarre hentai games that you said. That got banned. Anyway, any final thoughts and messages? Because I do need to. I need to wrap this podcast up. I got to be very early tomorrow. So
yeah, I don't know why, but I'm just getting not really into fat people at the moment. I just needed to say that.
We had enough of the Ben jokes a few podcasts ago. I got it all out my system, saying my opinion.
Yes, you did.
On the Ben situation. Obviously, it was a bit of a mad shoot promo type thing. I shouldn't have got that annoyed, but I felt like, I don't know, how miffed and angry I felt towards Ben just ditching the squad. I kept it inside. I didn't say it out loud. I just kept it all inside and wouldn't say, but I got it all out, said what I wanted to say. So, you know, there's no need to throw more jabs at Ben.
Well, he's not going to watch it, is he?
I know, but I just don't like, you know, I like to try and avoid chatting crap about people if I can.
Yeah.
Unless it's a funny. I guess what you've said is a funny. Huh?
Hi, Ben, if you're watching. Make sure you give us a message.
Because I've got him on ignore, so imagine if I've just look at it years and years later and there's just a load of angry messages just saying, how dare George says, how dare you.
Well, if he's annoyed, just give me a message.
Well, mate, I know what to say to him. I'll just say, well, if I check
I know exactly what to say to him. A girl waddle off to you, bigger waddler.
Well, I think on that note we should wrap it up there nicely. Liam,
when you go on holiday, it's affected by two plane seats, and then one for yourself as well.
So, like I say, we'll wrap that one nice up there. Go check out Liam.
That's what Ben sees at night. I know I get him.
No, I was just laughing at the belly. I wasn't laughing at the bit where you said what Ben sees at night. That was a bit funny, but it wasn't laughable. But I will give you that. That was a bit funny. Anyway, George, Liam, thank you for showing up. Thank you for giving up your time. George's channel is DW Boy 14. Go check it out. Liam's channel is TG, the Game in Czechia, the Game in Chechnya, the Gaming channel. Go check him out. And I am James of the Banterous Hour. George put a fatty bum in the private chat. Anyway,
Ben's greeting.
I feel like just having a Scottish breakdown, to be honest.
Just don't fall over.
You got me with that one. That was pretty good. Yeah, he got me there. If this was a midday podcast, I'd be going, you stupid motherfucker, and just going mad. But you've been prodding the belly with all these edgy jokes and all this stuff.
That's offensive. I'm gonna prod your belly tonight.
Well, if he did that, he'd really get backhanded, wouldn't he? You know? Well, if he did that, he'd get flattened.
He'd probably be told not to speak to anyone anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, he must have done it then.
Yeah. You cannot speak to any of your old friends. They're horrible. Only my
Yeah.
friends. Goodbye. You've corrupted me again, George. You've pushed me over the edge again.
Only the over 500 anonymous people.
I don't even get that last joke. Anyway, we'll end that one there. Thanks for watching. Liam, any final thoughts or words?
No, just good to review these films and yeah, I suppose good segments as well. That's fun. Generally knowledgeable, and yeah, looking forward to more.
Cool, George. Anything you want to say?
I just think when you're asleep at night, that insect could like crawl to the back of your neck and start eating away, and you can hear it while you sleep. Good night, everyone.
Like I say, thanks for watching. I'm probably going to try and watch The Fugitive next, and the what's the other one? Hacksaw Ridge. Review that down the line in a few weeks, hopefully. I don't know. All right then.
Do we know Liam's one yet?
Well, The Fugitive one would just be a random review, but yeah, we could do.
Yeah.
I don't know when Liam wants to do his one.
Yeah, Magic Mike, everyone.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
Magic Mike.
There you
go.
All right then.
Magic Mike XL or whatever it's called, XXL. Yeah.
All right then. See you later then, everyone. That's all we've got to say for today. Have a good one. See you. All the best.
Yeah. See ya.